Boom. Welcome
Boom.
back, everybody.
Boom. Let's go.
BRB. Yeah.
Let's go.
BRB podcast
That's
presents,
what's
man, we
up.
got a special guest tonight. We got Yon World 7 with YANTRA Community. Yon World, welcome, bro. We appreciate you coming out tonight.
Thank you for having me,
We,
BRB. Thank you for having me.
boom, boom. You got to check them out.
It's
Yantra999.com.
been
We're
a
going to
pleasure.
Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna definitely be getting into all the good that Yantra is doing, Yan World is doing with the Yantra community about that just a little bit. But we are going to go through a few of our topics tonight. We got a lot for you folks. We got the current state, give you a little bit of update of what's going on with Bitcoin, what the chart looks like. We got crypto AI. I feel like some of you guys are itching to talk about Chat GPT. And then, of course, we got the future state of Web3, and then the best for last. Everything that is going on with Yatra community and Yad World's going to get us up to speed on all of that. So, but, we wanted to kind of kick us off, get us kind of square where we are. I feel like the past few weeks have been pretty damn awesome. The space has been positive. The Bitcoin chart is looking pretty damn solid. And if we were to go ahead and let me just pull
Right.
it up here for just a second, you know, you take a look at this thing. I feel like it's a thing of beauty. I mean, that is one green wall. Now,
Dang.
what we're looking at here is the 1 day chart. We can even go hourly, but you go to 1 day chart, you're gonna see that nice curve. We talked about this in the last one, the cup and handle chart. You got that basin right there. You got our handle, and man, that breakout is just beautiful. Um, you know,
Looking bullish.
bullish to the moon. Now we keep it
Yeah.
up. We are looking at this going all the way up to 2600. That's our next resistance level. When you take a look at the tea leaves, is this potential? It's potential, folks. None of this is financial advice. This is just for your entertainment and for ours, I think, in a bit. But I feel like the chart looks good. I mean, Rico, what do you think? You think we're going all the way up to 2600? You think we're going higher? You doubling that? What's up?
Well, I just want to look at some things and share some things with everybody. We can see what Yan World thinks about it too, because Yan, man, you've been on the YouTube for a while, bro. I saw some videos from at it for a while. So, we're gonna take a look at some stuff. Got some things ready for us. Let me share this screen actually. Let me pop up so I can show you guys what's going on. Let me do it like this. Let me cancel this really quick. Let's share this screen right here. I'll bring this one over. I got some patterns for us that we can use. And I'm not sure if you guys heard of the white call distribution pattern, but that's the one we're going to be looking at today. This screen right here. Got a couple of screens in front of me, so that's the deal right now that we're having. Okay, let me go to share screen. And then we're going to go to this one right here. So let's go to this really quick. Move them over. But we got some things on TradingView. It's basically the white call distribution pattern. Something that happens all the time. It actually happens on all different times. So the chart I drew up a while back already. But if we look at this, we zoom out. Are you guys?
No, not yet.
Hello?
No, we're not seeing it, bro.
Hello?
I think the screen froze a little bit.
Oh no. I'm afraid that Rico, you got some technical difficulties going on. Is it raining out in wait, where are you again?
Vegas.
Mongolia, right? Oh,
Mongolia.
Vegas. I knew it was one of the deserts. Uh, um, I think we lost him. Rico, if you could hear us, leave, come back in. Maybe that'll do it.
I'll put them out there.
Boom. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll pull it back up for you. Let me go ahead and pull up the Bitcoin chart. You tell us what you think. You think we're going? Are we going all the way? We going to the moon, or what? Are we hitting the motherland?
I think it's lining up for us to go to the moon. You know, I'm ready for the bull run, the next bull run. I know we're in the middle of the next Bitcoin halving, you know, and the next Bitcoin halving happens next March of 2024. And I've been in crypto for a minute, and I just remember the most recent Bitcoin halving. Right after that, we experienced the last bull run. So I think we're in that middle part. You know, this year we could see a lot of movement upward. You know, I think it's still gonna be like a fluctuation, up and down movement, but uh generally it's gonna be up and to the right. You know, when we look back and pull back, you know, from now until like the end of the year, I think it's gonna continue to just slowly creep back up and go back into where crypto is supposed to be. Like I
Yeah,
want Bitcoin, you know, back above, way well above 30,000, and I want Ethereum, you know, over 2,500 just at all times. So I think we're moving closer toward that type of climate in cryptocurrency. You know, I know it's just the start of the year, but I think it's gonna be a great year for us in cryptocurrency.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Just so, what Rico, welcome back. We were talking about Bitcoin halving, and we, we were specifically mentioning about the dates, right? And just so that we can
Yeah.
show folks, everyone, what we're talking about here, what uh, Young World was talking about. These are the dates that we kind of talk about, and it's maybe a little bit difficult to see because the dates are at the bottom, but it's the third halving that Young World's talking about, and we're approaching it. We're approaching it because as we get to about here,
Yep.
this is kind of where we are right now. You're talking the potential for it to just take off.
Let me see if I can
So
change it.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit better there. That's a good shot. It's a good shot. Um, so there's that potential. We're already more than just like Jan Road was saying, halfway through it. So yeah, moon is we're ready. We're ready to moon. We're ready to get into the next level.
Accumulation phase.
Boom.
It's
So
definitely
Absolutely.
accumulation time.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys have a chance, just look up that white cough pattern. I'm probably going to do a video on it since it was lagging and it's not going to let me show it. I don't want to get booted again, but I agree. You know, the Bitcoin halving is something that we talked about, you know, on the Bitcoin rainbow chart. So, you know, it's something that also mentions that Bitcoin halving, and it's hard to really, you know, sit through these times. But once you've already been through it one time, it's like, I'm ready for this next one. I'll tell everybody that, you know, that's the best thing we can do, is just be ready and be the ones that get our chances round, because I missed it on the last time and I didn't really understand what was going on. Now I think we all fully understand, those who are involved and stuff already this long.
for sure, for sure. Bronze, what do you say? We mooning? Are we gonna? Is this just a bull trap?
There might be a little bit of retracement this year, right? But yeah, I see Bitcoin being around 30K this year, maybe later in the year. Who knows? Maybe after with this XRP settlement, uh, things are going to be looking bullish after that. If I believe XRP is going to win, it's going to change the whole sentiment. But yeah, definitely 2024. I mean, I've seen the halvings. It's without fail. The bull run comes right after. And the thing is, it gets stronger every time. As each bull run comes, it's stronger and it's longer. So like I
It
said,
is.
accumulation phase. It's gonna be face melting season when that comes around. So not financial advice, but do your research and pick what you like, and bag up, stack up.
Yeah.
Maybe get a little bit.
Somebody said the bottom
YANTRA
is
and
in.
BRB. The
Yeah.
bottom is
Yeah, look at
in.
that. The bottom is in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, the bottom is in.
LFG. LFG. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I
LFG.
mean, I think
And the cryptocurrency market has been growing, right? I mean, overall, if we really look at it, no matter what, if you zoom all the way out, the overall Bitcoin market has just been touring nonstop. It's been getting better and better. Yeah, there's been retracements nonstop that we always think that we're never going to recover from, but it always to recover. And I think it's doing that right in front of our eyes once again, even with stuff like FTX and stuff, and knocking the wind out of it and stuff like that. Because really, I think if nothing knocked the wind out of binges and things like that, FTX, Celsius, Luna, and things like that, I think Bitcoin will still be a lot higher than, where we're currently sitting right now. But even though it continues to take lows, it eventually corrects us up.
Yeah, for sure. And we talked about the XRP settlement, and really wasn't a topic, but we're approaching that. We're talking about March of this year, which is perfect, right? Because if this thing ends up the way that most of us want it to in the space, we're talking about a moonshot. Because on top of that, you also then have all the folks getting the returns, at least here in the United States, from the IRS, and you know exactly where they're going to put it. They're going to put it right into crypto. They're going to put it right into crypto. So, but actually, looks like we got Saitama Queen who joined us as well. So, Saitama Queen, if you want to join us up on the stage, you're more than welcome. We're actually talking about the Bitcoin chart at the moment with YON World. We got Bronze in the house, and of course, Rico Moneybags. But
a pleasure.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I feel like we're all ready for that moon to come on, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Man, we are getting a lot of chatter in the chat group right now, but yeah, I think that overall, we'll see what happens. I feel like the next few months are going to be pretty darn interesting. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, to the moon. So we got crypto AI. So you know what? I told Rico I'm going to put you out there first, because we were talking about this earlier. We were talking about Chat GPT, and man, that's some amazing stuff going on right there. What say you, Rico?
Sure is.
Yeah.
Well, what I did, the best thing I could do was just started experimenting with it. So, I want to and it was Bronze too that kept asking me, was I playing with, that cheat GPT? And I was just like, you know what, let me play with it for a little bit. And I was noticing that, you can play with it to the extent to have like, the trading AI, trying different algorithms that actually come up with a trading bot that I can see that being pretty lucrative. I think we're going to have like this. We're seeing that with, in the cryptocurrency market where it could potentially help with risk management. That's another thing I think it can help. Even if it's not helping you trade, maybe it can help you with, just not placing trades, but like bad trades. Like that, you don't gotta have the risk of creating some kind of bot that you're legally tied to. But I was looking at some of the things that it can come up with. I felt like the toughest part was coming up with a good enough question for it, right? Because I was just trying to be creative enough for it to come up with some good. And everything that it came up with was basically that AI will help out with, science and monitoring, and basically the best thing that it can do with security issues. And I think it's a way to start trusting it in the beginning, where it won't look bad, trusting it to make our lives just a little bit better, a little bit faster, but not necessarily putting any financial risk, basically. But I think it should be something that everybody should start to and challenge themselves on almost like a nightly basis with this ChatGPT, because there's something there, and I don't want to get left behind. I'm not sure what's there, but I don't want what is there. Jan, I'm not sure if you explored it. Have you played with ChatGPT? I know Bronze has been playing with it.
I've been researching ChatGPT just as far as like because aside from crypto, I do affiliate marketing, and I was watching videos on how they were getting ad creatives written up and different articles for products and affiliate products, and they were using the Chat GPT software. So I've been looking into AI as far as like figuring out a way to monetize it, because like you said, Rico, it's something there, and I don't want to miss it. And I feel like
right, bro,
it's just even with YouTube, I've been looking at they have like faceless channel ideas and channels that you can build completely using AI tools.
Hmm.
Like they have presentation people
Right.
that do, I don't know if y'all ever seen like the whiteboard presentation YouTube style videos, but they get millions of views. And they have AI
Hmm.
software now where you can go in and program like these presentations, and then you can get the script made on Chat GPT, and you can import it in
Right.
the AI presentation software and then upload it on YouTube. So I was looking at different ways to monetize the whole AI wave that's going on right now, and I just feel like
Yeah.
it's going to be big this year. I definitely feel like AI is going to be big this year, and everything that they're doing with it. And like I said, I just want to figure out a way to monetize it and not necessarily be like
Right.
100% consumed if I'm not producing anything with the technology. I want to produce something with the
Right.
technology.
Right. I think you said some good points too, because like, that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, because we're all kind of in a unique situation, right? We're all in this podcast now. We're all involved in crypto. Somehow, we gain these positions that you're the dev of Yantra. I'm CMO of BRB Cash. We got John in here, Tex and Whale. We got Bronze up in here, and we've kind of grown in this space. And now we get this other opportunity with this AI stuff. And it's right up our alley, really, because it's right connected with everything that we're doing. But also we're kind of like influencers, right? Even Texans Whale, even Crypto Brown. Like, where can we monetize this AI? And one of those is, like you said, where it can come up with scripts. And besides that, I think there's just so much more behind it. I would feel like if I didn't get $1 out of the AI technology that just came out, I feel like I just need to step it up or something, right? Because there's just some Bronze. What do you think about the Chat GPT? What have you been
Oh
exploring with it? Because I
man,
know you've been asking
yeah,
me.
yeah. No, Chat GPT is powerful. Yeah, we were
Right.
talking about that the other night with John. It's like a trend or something, but I mean it's here to stay. I mean AI
Mm-hmm.
is nothing new, right? We know the term AI ever since when. It's just
Mm-hmm.
now with ChatGPT was open to the public late November. That's when it really popped off, and just playing around with it, you see the potential, and people are getting some people are worried that it could take people's jobs. But I mean, if you play it right, you
Yeah.
can leverage it. It's another tool. It's a advanced tool,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's to me, AI, crypto, cold fusion is the next turning point in the history of mankind. I don't want to get too deep. Cold fusion
Right.
is clean energy, but when you have when you have
Yeah.
AI and crypto together, I think it's going to be crazy. And also with the
Yeah.
metaverse, um, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to get too much into it because we got a lot of stuff to cover. But yeah, it's AI.
Right.
You
No.
can
No.
leverage, yeah, you can leverage AI with smart contracts. It can verify and
Mm-hmm.
execute conditions within the contract.
Right.
You can leverage it with supply chain management on the blockchain, data analysis. I mean, the list goes on, hand in hand with
Right. Right.
blockchain technology and
And
AI
and, and
technology.
people saying and people saying that it's gonna get like a fade. I don't think it's going to stay. I think it's and people worry, like John was saying before the stream started, about people kind of cheating on tests. It's like, well, the same thing happened with calculators, and the same thing happened when computers came out, that people were like, oh, now they're gonna have calculators, they're gonna be cheap, and let's have it. Like, once technology comes out, there's gonna be some people that bust, but once it's this good, and this is the best that it's been. This thing can write impressive stuff. I doubt that if calculators got to stay, ChatGPT gets kicked off and we never hear of it again, right? Excuse me, but
Hmm.
yeah, I think it's pretty strong. What about you, John? Well, how do you feel about the ChatGPT? Have you played with it?
Yeah, so I feel like it is the future. I feel like you take a look at ChatGPT and you take a look at some of the articles that came out. Right, CNN talked about it passing exams for law and business schools. I feel like, man, when it can do stuff like that, and this is just baby stuff. This is kind of the future. Um, I mean, the next year or two, it's going to be absolutely amazing. But we did have someone joining us as well. We got Russell Armand, COO, Saitama, Russell. Welcome. We appreciate you joining us.
Hey,
There
how's
it
it
How we
is,
doing?
big
You
screen.
guys hear me?
Boom.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, looking good, brother. Looking good.
Boom.
So,
That's what's up, bro.
yeah, so Russell, the
Yeah.
kind of format is we kind of just go over some topics. Right now, we're kind of talking about AI, crypto in the space. We're talking about Chat GPT. I feel like the next topic is NFTs, what that looks like for AI. What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like that's the future? Do you feel like we're right where we need to be on the trajectory to that moon?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm not so sure about AI. I mean, there was a time when I thought that kind of metaverse situation was going to really kind of take off and, kind of really take over the space a little bit. I think it'll still play a big crucial part. NFTs, when used the right way, have a lot of versatility. I think there's a lot of opportunity in NFTs that haven't really been explored yet. I feel they kind of started off right as a way to get people more involved, with artwork and digital creations, which is great. But I think there's so much more that can be utilized with the NFT space as far as real world use case, right? Ticketing, um, you know, paperless transactions, accountability. There's some because it's included on the blockchain. There's really so much versatility involved there that you can do whatever you want to do, right? So I think there's a lot of opportunity to really grow the space in the NFT market. So I think it's kind of really just now being scratched, and a lot of meetings and things and people that I talk to in different industries, whether it be the business professional realm, sports, entertainment, everybody's curious about it and everybody wants to get involved. The only caveat there is not a lot of people know about it. They don't understand what an NFT is, what its capabilities are. They know that there's a bunch of NFTs with pictures of monkeys, and they don't understand it. But there's so much real use that you can do with it, regardless of what your business is. So
Yeah.
I think there's a lot from it. Yeah, I think this can be the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I think honestly, I feel like a lot of us agree with it. You talk about folks that don't quite understand it. I agree. I feel like what we're scratching is just the surface of it. And when you introduce NFTs to the world, I feel like it has to start with the monkey pictures and the basic utilities of it. And when you take a look at, say, AI, I mean, the implications towards real world applications, not just the kind of kid stuff that we're doing right now, is huge. But I feel like it's a catalyst. It's a catalyst to get us to the next level, right? People get excited about just the simple things, and then it parlays into, well, let's build off of that. Let's get more folks excited about it. And man, the future's bright. The future's bright. So.
It's all about the transition to the digital
I
world.
think,
Right? We're at a big precipice right now of recreating going to a different spectrum. Everything's going to be digital at some point here really soon. So,
Yeah. Rico, I think there's just a little bit of delay. That's what we're feeling
I totally
here.
agree with you. Yeah, I'm noticing it definitely. But I agree with him on the NFTs. I think that's happening. It's happened even to crypto, where everybody had a certain expectation of it, a certain way that it was gonna be. I'm the same way. I really had, I guess, some higher expectation that the metaverse was gonna do. I still believe that there's some kind of format that it is gonna exist, but I do agree that it is gonna change its style, its characteristics, and the same thing over time. With what we believe that it was going to do and how we're using day-to-day basis, it keeps getting more and more mature. And there's going to be some hype with some monkey pictures to get people involved. That's how it's going to go for some time. But then after that, there's going to be some real utility that come from it, because we can't get away that eventually almost every document's basically going to be on the blockchain, and those are basically forms of NFTs. They're just smart contract monkey and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's still a smart, and that's what's really going on. So that's the power of this.
Yeah, the way I see it, metaverse. Yeah, it didn't come out. It still is in its infancy, right? This is how I see it. It's an analogy of, say, Marvel Universe movie. The technology, everybody wanted to see like a Marvel movie the way it is now, but the technology wasn't there yet. It wasn't ready for prime time. So metaverse will have its day. It's coming soon. We're still really early in this whole thing. So it's better to know what's up now and be ready when the time comes for prime time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Jan World, what say you? Any additional comments on the topic?
Yeah.
I kind of agree with Russ how he was saying how crypto can go in one direction and we can expect it to go in one direction and then it could just take a turn. I do feel like the metaverse,
Yeah.
it'll still have the whole metaverse crypto, it'll still have its time in cryptocurrency. Like it'll be certain projects that'll come out that'll fully capitalize on what the metaverse was supposed to do. And the same thing with AI. Like I believe there'll be certain projects that capitalize on what AI uh, can do, and it'll just add to the overall cryptocurrency, picture. But it may not necessarily like take over, like game changing, just change everything. But I feel like it'll have a certain level of influence in the game and in cryptocurrency. So I'm here for all of it. Honestly, I'm here for just cryptocurrency in general. The
Awesome.
moving forward and the infrastructure of cryptocurrency, just it growing and more people being exposed to it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're all seeing, right? It's the next iteration of the space and what it looks like after 2022, because 2022 was just an absolute mess. You had FTX, you had Luna that kind of just sent us off into the mud, into the muck and mire, and we're just trying to crawl our way out. But this is the time now to start building utility and focusing on our individual projects and get us to the next level. Kind of what we're doing here today, obviously, is to try to get us to kind of work together because we are stronger together. And, we can either, as they say, we can work together or we can die alone. So, this is kind of what we're looking to do. Look, we're trying to spread the word, spread the message. We want to get you guys hyped up for the next level. We'll be talking about Saitama and the project here. We're going to be talking about we're going to be talking with, Yon World and Yantra and that project and what's going on for the next steps in here in just a moment. But we do want to kind of shift a little bit to kind of Web3 and what your thoughts are on this. I mean, I feel like this is the next buzzword for this next kind of phase that we're going through. We kind of went through the NFT phase. We had several phases over the years, but Web3. I mean, what do you say there, Rico? What do you think? What do you think the future looks like for that? What are the things that we're going to be focusing in on?
Well, for sure, like Web3 is definitely one of those buzzwords for sure. I think the main thing with Web3 is going to be the same thing with all the crypto, right? It's going to be education, awareness, simplifying the use case. And that's what we talk about BRB Cash, right? Making like ease of use. So, we're not going to leave out the 5% of people. If you use your Trust Wallet, your MetaMask, whatever, you can use it. But we need to focus on how are we going to bring in, the 95%. And the best way to do that is making Web3 into their day-to-day. So, what they're using already, the systems that they're using, and making it easy for people to understand it, having some kind of educational, basically something set up to be teaching people about the awareness of Web3 and whatnot, but promote well and basically just ease of use. Best way, I wrote some stuff down, right? Ease of use for sure, and basically making it into their people's day to day that they're already using. So we see people getting QR codes at the gas station. We see people QR codes. Basically, people are already scanning cards, but now you see them instead of swiping their card, they're tapping their phone, or they're scanning a QR code right now. And that's basically the next step of getting people to accept crypto, because it can't be that we make them understand our cryptocurrency. It's going to be too hard for them. It has to be that whatever we're doing, interoperability into their systems basically already, so it's something that they're using already. and we just sneak into their system. But to get them to switch over to our system, I think would be a lot harder. And I think if we can, interact with, what they're doing already at Walgreens or whatever it might be, and also add some kind of bonuses, some kind of incentives for them interacting or using our service, I think that's a way to get it to grow for sure. Because there's always a sale everywhere you go, and there's a sale if you sign up Walmart, or if you sign up for Sam's Club, or if you do this membership. So if we can get them to sign up through something that they're already doing, I think it'd be pretty easy.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that it makes sense. I feel like ease of use is something that we're going to need to kind of bridge, right? Because you have Web 2, you have Web 3. I wonder if we have to baby step just a little bit, right? And go to Web 2.5 before we can get to Web 3. You take a look at some of the stuff that's being produced on Web 3, completely decentralized. I don't know that it's quite there yet, but it's a step in the right direction. Russell, what say you?
I agree, man, 100%. I think a lot of it has to come from what you mentioned in the education aspect, right? Because nobody really knows about Web3 development, not because they don't want to know, it's just because there isn't enough information out there. So when we released our SATA Academy public, that was the first step in offering some sort of educational platform for people to, incentivize to get them on board and to learn about it if they wanted to, right? So the next step is obviously implementation, where we're trying to implement daily use case for small, medium-sized businesses to implement Web3 technology into their daily lives, right? Because that's how people are really going to get accustomed to it and become more familiar. And that's by seeing it every day. So if you go to your, mom and pop shop where you buy your groceries, your coffee, and you're seeing people implement and utilize, Web3 and crypto, for payments or part of their business strategy, it becomes more and more adopted and more accepted, right? So that's kind of the next phase in that, right? And then as we have our SATA card and our SATA Pay, having that partnership and collaboration with Visa, utilizing, crypto payments wherever you go, that's a big step in the right direction too, because it simplifies everything that you're going to do anyways, but now you're utilizing, cryptocurrency, you're utilizing, Web3 development, you're utilizing all these different things that is going to promote, easeability and, feasibility for normal everyday people, right? Not the 5% as you mentioned, but the other 95% that have no idea, they just need to get accustomed to it, right? So just as people still now don't use their phone, to make payments or the scan with your card, a lot of people still use checks, believe it or not, right? If you go to the grocery store, people are still writing hand checks. I didn't even know you could do that still, but you can't. It's amazing, right? But I feel like we're on the right track. It's just going to take some time, but I think it'll get there, right? And it's going to be much faster than people probably think. Just look at, the last 2 to 3 years, how far we've come from where we were then to where we are now. The acceptance, the total domination in the industry, digital currencies, it was laughed at, right, a long time ago. And I say a long time ago, 2 years ago, nobody's laughing now, I promise you. So it's coming.
I honestly, I agree. Awesome. I feel like it makes sense that we have to have it. Education plays a key role, right? But it's those baby steps that we need to take, and when you take those giant leaps from 2 to 3, and you take a look at that step, that it's too big of a step. So we start to kind of chip away, and we get these folks educated as we need to, and get them exactly where we need to be. I feel like it makes sense. Education is key. When you have these academies like Saitama has, and a lot of the other projects out there, let's take advantage of it because they're providing useful information to get out there. Check them out if you haven't already. Jan, what are your thoughts on this?
On the whole Web3 integration, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I feel like same as y'all feel. Like education is the main thing that we have to spread in the cryptocurrency space, is just educating the people, because once it's fully integrated, once crypto is at your local store, when it's at the movie theaters, when you can pay your bills with it, that's when the mass integration of cryptocurrency is going to be alive and well. And I think that time is coming. Me personally, I believe it's coming within the next 5 to 10 years. Like we're going to start seeing like the mass integration of cryptocurrency, and that's when things are really going to take off. Like now we're in a, I think everybody in cryptocurrency is really in a privileged space because we understand this space. Like we understand how to use things like Uniswap and how to send and receive crypto, and even the fundamentals. I deal with a lot of younger people, and even the fundamentals of crypto, a lot of people don't fully grasp yet. So I think even when the fundamentals are fully integrated and people can understand that, then it'll move forward. Like as far as like it being integrated everywhere, and it's easier. It's like more people can understand it and can adapt to it, and that's when it's going to really develop into something that's bigger than anything we can all imagine right now. I know crypto is here to stay. Is going to be bigger than anything we can imagine. Definitely.
Yeah. And we talk about normies. We talk about the 95%. We talk about um, the 5% and the separation, and there is this huge gap. There's this huge gap, and if we can start to focus more on that 95%, anyone that can tap that, any project that can start to really tap that out, is they're the ones that are going to be the future. And you know, Bronze, what do you think? Web 3, Web 2.5?
Yeah, I think we're going to be heading to 2.5. Web 3 is not going to be ready for prime time. But yeah, like with video games, for example, there's projects out there that's basically you can play games directly on the web. I'm here for that. You can play to earn. You can play and earn. There's some shooters out there that's it's in beta where you play, you earn by killing, or when you unlock or earn certain items, you can put that on the, I guess, marketplace. I don't know if it's going to be decentralized, but yeah, Web3 is on its way, but to get there, you need a transition. I believe 2.5 is that right now. You need to still have it for the normies, right? So they need that look, that same look and familiar feel of Web 2.0 leverage with Web 3 on the back end, and I think that's where we're at right now. 5 years down the line, Web 3 will be a full go, but we're building towards that.
Yeah. And Rico, what do you want to wrap it up? What additional thoughts you have on Web 3, Web 2.5?
Well, one thing I want to say is I think all of us inside here, Russ, Jan, everybody in here, we're all doing our part already. The people that we got in the chat, I see them talking about the SIDA card. I think that's also something that can help. I'm curious to hear about that. So with the Web3 part, and Jan World does his thing, I would like to also hear about part if Russ doesn't mind, because I think all these little things, and especially us coming in this room, I wanted to, the chat to stay clean, because right now we're doing our individual duties as people who believe in crypto to spread it, right? And then that's why I want to keep the chat clean and give us all the chance to spread our own space, because we all got something that we're bringing to this. And I think this is how it's going to grow, right? Well, we're bringing Web3 stuff. We got Russ and the side of crew over here. They're talking about some cards in the chat, so I definitely want to give them the time. We got Yan World up in here. And I think we're doing our individual duties, not only as influencers, as people connected to these tokens. And I think that, this is kind of speaking to the chat, never play into the negativity. I think the more we stay positive and the more we work together, the further this is going to go, right? This is the main thing that we want to do. We got David Lee talking about the education, and through negativity, we're not going to learn nothing. So I'm just taking this opportunity and this platform that I have. We got 68 people in here that together we're going to get a lot further, and rubbing elbows with the right people and spreading some knowledge and positivity, we can make crypto better. No matter what, at the end, we will all win. We're all early. We're trailblazers when it comes to this crypto stuff. We are super early. So at the end of this race, we all win. So I guess we'll just give it to Jan World, and then, if it's okay, Russ, we can side a card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So So Russ, why don't you go ahead and just talk a little bit of the sided card? What we'll do then is just get it over to Yon World. We'll talk about the project, then kick it right back over to you, Russ. We'll talk about all the good that's going on in the Saitama space.
Got it. Yeah, so we just released the registration for our SATA card. There's 3 different cards that you can get, kind of like your traditional credit cards, where it's like black. You're registering for your card, and what is essentially utilizing the cryptocurrencies that we have available on there through our partners with ePayMe. ePayMe is an onboarding crypto to card payment system structured with a partnership with Visa and a license in Dubai. Card anywhere you want, just like you would a normal Visa card, right? So anywhere that accepts Visa, you can utilize our SATA card as a payment system. So what you're doing is essentially swapping whatever cryptocurrency on there for your USDT, and then making your purchase with your SATA card, right? Now we're expanding and creating an offboarding system on that as well. But it's like any other, crypto, whatever crypto you have on there that you want to GT, and then make your purchase right there with your Visa card, SATA card. So it's utilized globally. So we have our expo coming up in London, and we're hoping to have everything rolled out and ready to go, so you can start utilizing it and making purchases and doing all that good stuff. So we have a lot of stuff on deck with that, but it's, if you guys know or don't, there's only a few licenses that were handed out in Dubai for this type of payment structure, and we have one of them with our ePayMe system, and our partners over there, which is also the same folks that we have for our financial program in South Sudan that we just did. So we have a ton of different stuff integrated onto our SATA Pro app, that just being one of them. But the card feature and having people being able to utilize the SATA card for normal everyday expenses is going to really help push this narrative and this initiative forward, because then it is a real thing. When you're in line at the grocery store and you're paying with SATA card, you're going to spark a conversation. You do that a couple thousand times, and then it's kind of like a waterfall effect, right? Somebody be like, "Oh, I've never seen that before. What is that?" Right? And then you start to talk, and we have the best community on the planet, so we already know how passionate everybody is about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
It's virtual, so I don't know physical cards. It's virtual. I know there was some confusion there, but the premise still remains the same, right? You're going to be utilizing it as a payment, and then people kind of, that's how conversations start. So it's going to be, it's a big thing. It's a big deal, not just for us, Saitama, but I think for the entire cryptoverse, right? Because we grow collectively.
Yeah.
We're a small group, as you mentioned. We're pioneers in the space. And we can't really do it alone, right? It takes everybody here. We can't be at odds. We got to work together to create this movement that we want to create, because Web3 tech, blockchain technology is for the people. It's not for the people in this room. It's for everybody. It benefits everybody greatly, and you can control your finances. So that's the avocation. That's what we're trying to pursue, and really creating that true world utility is the only way to get there, and then educating people on it. So.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like it really is a future, and I feel like we are here to work together to bring the future to the world, right? To bring the future to the 95, because without us, I don't know that we wouldn't get there. With folks like Russell, with folk like Yon World, I'm going to just plug BRB. I don't know that we would get there without these type of podcasts, without the academies treating the education and getting it out there. And then, of course, introducing utility like Saitama is introducing. So, Yon World, we wanted to kind of get it back over to you. We want to be mindful of everyone's time. We try to keep these to an hour. I'm afraid we're going to go a little bit over, but I don't think anyone's going to mind.
It's okay.
I think that Yon World, let's get it over to you. Let's talk about your project, and then we'll wrap it up with Saitama.
All right, so YANTRA, I got the chart pulled up in front of me right now. Yantra, we're currently sitting at 143,000 in market capital. This was a project that I released back in October. It was really inspired by a bunch of different developers. It's crazy that you have Russ on here because that was one of the developers I was inspired by. Uh, Yantra is a true burn
That's
token.
awesome.
True burn token, it burns off of the blockchain, right? Something that I was real impressed with during the bull run last year of cryptocurrency was the burn tokenomic. So one of the biggest projects, was Satama. They was one of the first projects I realized with the burn tokenomic. They had an auto burn, 2% auto burn on their contract, and it sent Satama far. Like Satama, they did very good off that, and there was other burn tokens, and I came across a revolutionary burn token. It's called Pyro, right? And I was a part of that community. We sent that coin all the way to $8 million, and the technology of what the tokenomic did, I had noticed flaws in it, and I took what I noticed the flaws in, and I made my own project, right, with Yantra. And one of the biggest flaws in the True Burn tokenomic was liquidity, because when I was in other projects and they would sell, it would really damage the liquidity of a project. So I took and I tweaked the
Yeah.
tokenomics and I made Yantra. Yantra, it started off with 333,000 tokens. It's down to 299,000 tokens. Right, every buy and sell, Yantra reduces off of the blockchain, and is a true burn mechanism. It's a hyper deflationary token. It causes the token to become more scarce. In cryptocurrency, one of the things they do, one of the things a lot of projects do, what they will lead with in marketing is that we're going to burn. All right, we're going to do this burn of a token, and normally when they burn a token, it sends to a dead wallet. Now, what I've noticed is that a dead wallet burn, it is effective in holding the floor of a price, but the true burn token has a direct impact on the price, right? I feel like even if uh, tokens that are burned, if they were to integrate this with a massive community, it would still it would grow the price of the token community. It would grow the value of the token community. I feel like the true burn token still hasn't had its right shine, right? Because it requires a great community,
Hmm.
right? And I made my own
Hmm.
cryptocurrency project experiencing this. I experienced that it requires a community, it requires a village, like, to build these projects. And I've always been the influencer, helping projects build and helping projects develop. And I've been a part of, some of the greatest projects that we've seen in the cryptocurrency in the past year. I've been there. So I made my own project, leading with integrity, like being somebody that's, known in the space, and wanting to, give people what I thought they wanted, like a docs dev, a great smart contract. And it's like you deal with a lot, like coming from just me being the influencer. All right, I've been the influencer, like actually promoting the product. Then I've been the developer, and I've seen both sides of the coin. And Yantra, this project, like I love it, and I'm always continue to promote it. I'm always continue to grow it. Um, and it's just really my first step as being a cryptocurrency developer and putting something out there. And I believe the smart contract is super powerful. Like with the right community, it would do nothing but grow, because it burns, the token itself burns, it adds liquidity to the pool, right? And it has marketing. We also have a staking platform. Our staking platform, every time somebody stakes or unstakes, it burns the token off of the blockchain. It literally removes it from Etherscan, and this causes the uh, token to become more scarce. And if you understand how cryptocurrency is priced, it's priced based on the total supply and the pooled ETH. So what it does is it reduces the total supply and it adds more ETH to the pool. And that alone, like when Yantra first released, it did $1 million in volume in in less than an hour. Like it was a crazy launch. It went as high as the all-time high was $1.8 million in market capital. It did good. The FTX event, kind of derailed the momentum because it was like I released it kind of right when that happened. So like I'm still promoting, but in cryptocurrency, people do have short attention spans and they always looking for, oh, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? I feel like YANTRA, the technology of a true burn token is something that's new. It's something that I was just exposed to July of last year, like the actual true burning from the blockchain, removing the token off of Etherscan. And with YANTRA so far, like right now, we're just continuously promoting. Like we have connections like with Adam Shelton, Kingdom Cause, Thor, Gems on crypto. I'm constantly promoting on my YouTube channel, YON World, and we're just doing that. Like we're anybody that's willing to partner with us right now, we're partnering up. I've talked to people like Steve from Bull Run Life. It's just been a lot of different people that's been coming to me and wanting to work with me, wanting to partner with me, and I'm continuously building YANTRA. Like I said, it's my first take at being a developer, and I see the work that's required of being a developer. And hats off to every cryptocurrency developer, out there, or anybody that's thinking about developing a cryptocurrency project. Is definitely rewarding. It's a definitely rewarding position, but it does require a lot of skill and direction, and that's something I'm continuously leading YANTRA with, like just whether that's a buy contest or a shield contest, we're constantly keeping the community engaged. I'm always talking about it on my live stream, and at this point in YANTRA's growth, my main thing is just building a community, because the smart contract will literally do the heavy lifting itself if when people understand like the dynamic of the burn and how it adds liquidity and how it can sustain the project, when people believe in it and hold in it, and give volume to that contract.
Yeah. You talk about community, you talk about
For sure.
building the community and trying to keep the community engaged. I mean, and then of course props out to the devs out there and just everyone that kind of props those communities up. It's not easy. It truly does take a village, and it takes more than a village. Shoot, I mean, you take a look at sizes of communities like Saitama. I mean, they're not villages; they're cities.
Yeah.
In some cases, they're the size of countries, and it does take a lot. And it's those those getting those messages out and keeping it, not only that, but just interesting as well. It's a lot. It takes a lot. It takes everything. For those of you out there that are trying to get a project off the ground, just don't give up. Keep going. Keep digging in. Keep trying. Give 110% every day. You do that, you're going to be 10 steps, 100 steps above the rest of the pack. So, if you haven't checked out YANTRA, check them out. Yantra999.com. We got the link there at the bottom. You guys are killing it over there, YON World. Keep it up. You got your website up. You got your YouTube marketing. That liquidity lock for 999 years.
Well, yeah, that actually, I wanted to get it locked for 999 years. The LP is actually burnt forever. That's something I,
burnt.
just wanted to do, just to show that I'm actually very serious about growing YANTRA, and I've been that way since the beginning, and I wanted to burn the liquidity completely. So, that's one of the things, like, that's an actual rug pull. Like when people hear the word rug pull, it's not that when people sell a project, it's actually when the liquidity is pulled. And I didn't want that. I didn't want the community to think I had any control over pulling the liquidity. So I burnt the liquidity tokens, the LP tokens, completely. So yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, and you hear about that in your little contracts.
I think
go ahead, Rico.
Sorry to lag. Yeah, it's just a lag. But I just wanted to state that I thought that was something cool. That extra layer of security for Yantra was that the liquidity was burnt. And I started to see kind of a trend. You know, I think Jan is right that that burn contract has not seen the highlight yet. And people are kind of catching on to it right now, because I do see people talking about a pure burn or a true burn. And I know where it came from. You know, it came from when Yan World started this. And I think, you know, as long as we can make it through these tough times in the markets, I think eventually these type of contracts will have their limelight, because team finance being hacked and things like that. So a token like Yantra, that's something you wouldn't have to worry about. Not saying that team finance is anything bad about them. Don't want to say things happen, of course, but I'm just saying that's why we have these conversations, because we all bring something different to the table that in the future we can even build something together where it's this powerhouse of something. We don't know, that's something that could happen. So yeah, I just want to chime in on that, and yeah, that's about it. So go ahead.
No, we appreciate it, and it makes sense, right? I mean, I feel like there's a lot going on in the space right now, and you take a look at even what we're kind of doing right now. We have 2 different projects up here. I don't feel like you see that too often. Man, I'd love to have 3 or 4, 5, 6. Man, I'd love to have a whole panel up here, because I feel like together we're going to make this space stronger. And we appreciate you, man. We really do. Keep up the great work. And Russell, we're going to turn it over to you, brother. Let's talk about Saitama. What's good? What's going on in the space?
Everything's good, man. We got so many different things going all the time. It's literally impossible to keep track. We got so the SATA card, we put out all the different things and the functionalities with that. We're putting out, getting it that was just the registration process. So the licensing is, it's done. It's just about rolling it out and allowing people to actually utilize it. Creating it all work and go on SATA Pro, right? And SATA Pro in itself is a chameleon of sorts that literally grows every single day. Like every update we put out, every single day, there's a new functionality being released. As we're, beta and putting our bridge together, right, for the BNB portals. We have SATA Logistics that we're looking to roll out and implement. We're on the final stages of the South Sudan partnership, going through all the banking mechanisms and getting that function and rolling out, finalizing stuff on the SATA Realty DAO. We have our second wave of NFTs being created and the blueprints for our DAO system and our SATA City metaverse. Let's see, what else? So we have our education platform that we're functioning and rolling out. We're doing with major centralized changes that we're going to be rolling out and implementing onto our decentralized platform. It's every day that we have different things that we're putting out there, different real life use cases, different parts of our ecosystem. I could literally sit here for 3 hours and tell you all the different parts and things that we have currently working on, and then another 3 hours, right? So it's going to be a good year for us. We spent basically last year building, in the really crappy market conditions, and that's fine. Like, you've got to have downtime like that to build. It's a blessing in disguise, right? I know as an investor, it's a terrible thing because everybody wants to make money. As a business developer and a crypto developer, you got to have that time. The last thing you want to do is to charge into a bull run unprepared, not ready to produce your actual utility, not ready to roll out what you've been working on, and you don't want to rush it, right? You don't want to rush the tech. You don't want to rush your actual true utility. You don't want to rush the development process or the testing process or the licensing features. These things cannot be rushed. So now that I feel that the market is kind of trying to take its turn, and will probably continue to do so as we get into 24 and then hopefully on from there, we're ready because we're actually rolling out the things that we want to do. So lots of stuff, man. Always tons and tons of stuff. So I made a promise I wouldn't put all of it out there, but we have a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about at the expo at the end of the month. We got some stuff this week that we're working on that we're going to put out. It's just never ending. It's always never ending. It's never ending work. But it's good. It's fun. It's something that we enjoy. Obviously, it's something that we're all very passionate about. It's stuff that we've been building this entire time, and it's exciting because it never stops. You know, it won't ever stop because it's something new comes across every day, and that's the best part of Web3 and blockchain technology, man, is you can do whatever you want to do with it, because nobody's ever done it. So the world is your oyster, essentially. So we're
Nice.
excited.
Yeah, and I feel like Bronze is kind of chomping at the bit here because last time we were talking about Saitama, and you were talking about what is it, Wolfcaster Games. Bronze, did you have a question about that?
Yeah, I would like to know more about that, Russell, if you can explain that and the state of realty. But Wolfcaster Games, I'm a gamer, so yeah, I would like to hear about that.
Okay. Gabe has the Wolfcaster Game Studio, right? So he's got about 2 or 3 different games that he wants to roll out. The only thing that we're limited by, of course, is manpower and resources, right? So as we started implementing and rolling out State Pro, State Realty, State like all this other stuff, we had to kind of put some of that stuff on the back burner. But I know that he still does have a team working on it. So I'm hoping, and I know he's hoping because, Gabe's a gamer too, and he loves that stuff. So I'm hoping to get that out. It's just pretty traditional, play to earn style game, but it's very retro, like a Golden Axe 2D kind of retro gaming aspect. I know there's a racing game that he's got on the works too. Quite a bit of things. So I try to get him to kind of spill on it and when he's going to have it ready, but Gabe's one of those kind of people too. He's always got 20 different projects going. So, I know that he's been doing the NFTs for State of Realty in the second wave, and starting the blueprints and the roadmap for our State of City. It's just the DAO setup metaverse system in place. So I know he's got that.
Okay.
So State of Realty is essentially. I had put it together. I want to say last year as a kind of a true. A bridge between real life physical properties, real estate property, and the Web3 component, right?
Okay.
So the way that it's set up, and now it's set up as a DAO, we have a capital wallet, right? So every transaction that takes place, 5% of that goes into a capital wallet where we actually purchase physical real estate. And being it's a DAO setup, we'll probably, I think MK is going to Dubai in the next few days, and we'll start looking at some properties and stuff over there to purchase. So the revenue generated from the properties that we purchase is actually distributed back to the holders, right?
Nice.
So we have a process implementation to where you have to stake your State of Realty token. Once you do, you're eligible, right? And then we'll pull revenue probably biannually. And when we pull the revenue based on how many tokens you have staked, all those different mechanisms will dictate, what you're going to receive on the retribution for the revenue. So that's one part of the components of it now that we kind of revamped our white paper when we did the V2. With the DAO system set up inside of State of City, you're allowed to get more points. Your vote holds a little bit more weight with your NFT collection. But you're really generating the revenue from 2 different angles, right? You're generating revenue from staking because you're getting the added incentives from your traditional staking mechanisms with the APR. As the market cap increases with the coin, you're making revenue from an investment standpoint. But on the other side of that too, the more real estate that we purchase, the more revenue that's generated, and the more that comes back into your pocket, right?
Nice.
So there's kind of a double-edged sword, from an investment standpoint. You're getting it from both ways, but the real mechanism there is getting that USDT kickback to you from revenue, from procurement of the properties, because you don't have to sell anything. You're able to pull profit and get money from your tokens without actually having to sell your State of Realty tokens, which is nice. So,
Nice.
so there's a lot of different components to it. It's really kind of complex, but it's a really cool system, and it's had kinks that we've had to work out, and I think the DAO structure system is kind of the way to go as we introduce the metaverse aspect to it too. There's literally a million different things that we're going to be kind of building on with that. But that's kind of the key components of it.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, right? And when you take a look at everything that St. Thomas is doing, Russell kind of spoke to it, right? They're into everything, and a lot of the things that we're actually seeing as well in the BRB space is finding the right resources to get the job done. And I can only imagine the growth pains that you guys are feeling with the fact that you guys are into, well, damn near everything, the way that I see it. Um, you know, what does the future bring, Russell? What does it look like? What are we not hearing? Can you talk about it?
Little
So, I mean,
teasers.
we have SATA Logistics right now that's kind of really at the forefront, that we're almost done with and rolling that out. So when you kind of think about logistics, right, you think about the movement of anything, right, from point A to point B, whether it's a container ship, whether it's a parcel, pallet, truckload, whatever, everything's got to be moved. So no matter how advanced and far we come in technology, goods still need to be sent, right? We still have a trade market. We still have stuff that needs to be sent around the world. So logistics is basically in a nutshell what that is. So what we've kind of implemented is a SATA logistics program that will kind of operate as not really like a broker or a 3PL, but a platform in itself to where multiple brokers and freight carriers can utilize our platforms to receive and send payment structure, like send payment in cryptocurrencies. So I've been a part of logistics. I used to run a company for a long time, years and years ago. One of the biggest drawbacks on that is sending and receiving payments, right? How you get money from the shipper, the receiver, and more importantly to the carrier itself. Sometimes these payments get in remittance for 6 months, right? And if you're a smaller family or owner operator, you can't go 6 months without payment, right? So having a SATA logistics platform for people to immediately receive payments is a way to expedite that whole process. But not only that, introduce the Web3 component into a very lucrative industry, right? Like logistics is not going to go anywhere ever. People will always need to send and receive goods. So it allows a lot of things for people in that industry to make their job. It's a marketing tactic where people see the name Saitama. You can use Saitama as a payment. You can utilize any part of our ecosystem integrated into it. There's a tons of different opportunity there. Any kind of transaction that takes place, of course, initiates the burn process. So, I mean, there's just a million things that you can do with it, and there is no limitations whatsoever. So, the logistics part is another real world use case that helps people in that industry get familiar with and also utilize crypto, and of course, use Saitama.
Yeah, and I mean, man. So what we do is we're basically a Web3 marketplace, and I feel like logistics, man, that is something that we're definitely going to have to connect on because that's the future. And it's what I find interesting is when you take a look at the space, you're talking about logistics overall. I wonder who is actually doing this and who's focusing in on this. And when you take a look at the space, I don't think that there's a whole lot of folks out there that are actually getting this one done. You guys are really,
Yeah, I haven't seen any, man. Honestly, I haven't. A lot of the things that we've done, we are first, right? I've seen some come after the fact and kind of do a similar portrayal of what we've done, or something really eerily close to what we're doing. Even with SATA Realty, there's a few that kind of popped up after that, but and that's fine, right? Like it's a big enough industry to where we don't need to monopolize it. But hey, we'll stake claim as being the first, though. It reminds me of a back in the day, and I don't know, I'm old, so I'll be a little bit nostalgic here, but you guys remember Crystal Pepsi? Right?
oh yeah,
You remember that?
oh
Like
yeah.
I think Coke came out or something like that with like a clear version of Coke, like a
Oh,
like a
yeah.
Sprite, like a clear one.
Mhm.
And so then of course Pepsi came out. And they're like, oh, try Pepsi. And God, it was so awful. But anyways, yeah. So it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. And like I said, it's fine. I don't hit on anybody. It's it's the best form of flattery, right? So
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
and there's more to come. Like there's so many different opportunities out there and so many different industries. And part of our education that we have out there, I reach out to a lot of small business and medium businesses and try to see how we can get that component lined up into what they're doing, right? And with the NFT space that we talked about, there's a ton of opportunity there. So as we progress, not just as a company, but in the space, as a crypto space, who knows? I mean, who knows what I talk to people all day, every day that have great ideas, and they want to do this and they want to do that. And it'll come, right? If it makes sense, it makes sense. We'll do it. As I mentioned, the only thing we don't have is time, and we lack, resources and personnel. But we're only 5 people, but we're progressing, right? And we all are extremely dedicated to this. So we're excited, And when you're excited about something, you put all your whole heart and soul into it, and that's kind of what we've been doing. So.
Yeah, and that's kind of the theme, right? I feel like stronger together, number one, right? And the other thing is, again, we are either living together and working together and growing together, or we are dying alone. And it's the only way to get us to that next level. So, man, solid stuff, guys. I really think that you guys killed it tonight. I feel like the topics were on the money. I feel like the responses, man, and then the projects that we had on tonight, man, awesome. I feel like we are looking at the future right here, and again, I do want to kind of wrap it up because we are a little bit over. We did want to make sure we did give everyone enough time, but maybe we just kind of go round table real quick. Rico, why don't you kick us off? Anything left to say to these fine, beautiful people out there?
Well, I just want to say absolutely thank you. Just want to say thank you to Jan showing up. I was surprised Russ pulled up as well. Do this all again because we got the right idea. I love that we're bringing to everybody, and you can hear the passion in each and every one of us, right? Like we said earlier, it's not meant to each other. And I've been asking myself lately, especially during this bear market, what are we doing as individuals to help the space grow? And I think, we end here tonight with different projects showing up and us talking together. I continue to happen and definitely get Russ, if you can give me some new stuff that's going to come out. So and same thing with Yon World. If you guys can give me something that's not out yet behind the scenes, I'll get that video out for you guys. And then we'll make it a hot video and stuff. And then we can do a recap and see, I haven't done no videos on those, but I'm just offering the channel to both of you guys. I appreciate you guys pulling up. The Yantra family up in the comments. Make sure you guys sub up. And if these guys give me some juicy tips on their projects, you guys will definitely hear about it on the channel. So appreciate it. Make sure you guys sign up to the BRB Cash. You can us out on Twitter and of course our Telegram. All right. Thank you guys. And until next time later.
Rico. Thank you, Rico. Bronze, what are you? Why don't you send us off?
Yeah, thanks, Russell and Yon World. It's having you guys. I'm looking at the screen right now. I'm feeling, really bullish. It's like kind of like the Avengers, all the Marvel characters coming together. No, I'm just, props to you guys. You guys keep on building on your project. Just keep on innovating, keep pushing, and we're all gonna go to the moon.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. Jan, what about you, man? Any final words, wisdom?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to the BRB podcast. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Russ from Satama, man. Great job on Satama. I know a lot of people give you a lot of slack, but great job on Satama, man. And I appreciate y'all for having me on and acknowledging me in the space as somebody who has done significant things in crypto. So I appreciate everybody. I'm grateful for being on the platform.
Well, Jan, and thank you. We appreciate you as well. Awesome stuff. Just keep it up for sure. Russell, what say you? Last words?
Yeah, man. It's on, you know, as you're saying, I catch a lot of slack, man. I mean, I've been around the space long enough, and none of it bothers me. There's literally nothing that anybody could say or do come at me with that's gonna bother me. It really doesn't, man. Because uh, you know, like you said, when you're passionate about something and you know that your head's in the right space and you know, and your heart's in the right spot, you know, it doesn't really matter. I've never seen, you know, so much, you know, child's antics and drama in one space. You know, and it's crazy because this is supposed to be, but you know, it comes with the territory, right? And that's why I tell people that want to, you know, be a developer. Oh, you want to be a developer? Okay, well, you better get some, you know, some thick skin real quick because you know it's going to come from every angle. You know, especially in a bull market, man. Like, you know, when the charts are green and everybody's winning and you're making money, you're like, you're a guy, you're an icon, right?
Yeah.
But the second you get some sales and you hit you know, you hit that bear market and people start, you know, losing money, or they, you know, they bought it at the all-time high, and you know, all of a sudden you're everybody's enemy, right? But you know, people understand we don't have control over that stuff. We just, you know, we just keep our heads down but no, I enjoy going out, you know, in different spaces. You know, I travel a lot. You know, I even go as far as I teach at some different schools and universities about blockchain development. You know, and it's something that I'm really, you know, passionate about. I think it's something that we can all greatly benefit from. You know, and I'm big into community. You know, and talking to folks like you and people, especially, you know, as investors, because I feel it's important that us, you know, myself, not to jump on a soapbox, but to spread the knowledge, right? And not that I know everything about everything, but I know a fair amount. And if I could help somebody else learn something today that they didn't know yesterday, we all benefit from that, right? So the only way you can do that is to make yourself available, you know, come on different podcasts, do different spaces, travel around doing, you know, meetups or teaching, you know, and it's something that I think we should all do. You know, it's almost like our responsibility. Being, you know, advocates and pioneers in the space at such an early stage that if we don't do it, who else is going to do it? You know, I mean, there is really nobody else out there. Like when I first started investing into crypto, I was relying on, you know, 16-year-old kids on Reddit, right, or YouTube videos. You know, it literally took me 3 hours to buy my first token on Uniswap. Right, I had to watch like 6 videos. I don't even remember what I bought. This was years ago. Because it was a whole new space. Right? I had like Robinhood. You know, I bought Dogecoin when it was a bunch of zeros, but in the decentralized era, it was a whole new thing for me. I'm like, how do I even do this? I gotta buy Ethereum and I gotta do this, and what's gas, what's slippage, and I mean, I probably burned $100 in gas just trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. So, but nobody was there to teach me and show me. There was no resources available. So if we don't do that, right, then who's going to do it? And then if we don't do it in the right way, then people are going to get turned off by it. They're going to have a bad experience. You know, and that's why when we created Saitama and we doxed ourselves and we came out and we wanted to make a safe trading environment, because when I first started trading, I bought into like 6 rug pull. I didn't even know what it was. Right? I bought it like $100 and I had 1,000, and then when I tried to sell it, I couldn't sell it because there was no liquidity. And I'm like, well, I don't understand what that means. Right? So if I had a bad experience and then I walked away, I wouldn't be here now. But more importantly, how many people have done that in the past? And that was their first experience in crypto, and now they didn't buy anything. They're never going to come back because their story they're telling their friends is, oh, I bought crypto. I was the fastest $100 I ever lost. Right? Or I bought into this project, it's now worth $1. So, you know, it's the same thing. Like, we have to be advocates for the space, and we have to together kind of make it a good, healthy environment that can be prosperous for everybody, and also create utility around it to where it's not a joke, right? It's not something that's looked at as a black market functionality, right? Or it's a way to launder money. Like, no, this is the future of finance. This is how we were going to conduct business, and this is how we were going to interact on a financial level globally, right? Because we are ultimately going to be in charge of our own money, right? I don't know about you guys. I don't do banks. I don't have banks. I don't like them, right? I don't loan my money to the bank so they can make themselves even richer, right? That's my money. I earned it. I want to make my money, right? I don't want you to make money off my money.
Mm-hmm.
I want it. It's mine. I earned it. I'm gonna keep it. So how do we do that? Blockchain technology, decentralized. That's what we're trying to do. So I know probably more of a rant, but that's what happens, man. I get going and I get
Yeah,
let's talk about it, man. And I just So, but no, I appreciate you guys, having me on, and we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, boom.
Absolutely.
That's all I
Boom.
gotta say about that.
All good, Russ.
That's
Boom.
our word.
Yeah, and very powerful stuff, guys. Very powerful stuff. I mean, we talked about education, getting the word out, rug pulls, honey pots. Oh my Lord, been there, done that. And you take a look at the space right now, and you take a look at the young guys coming in, the young gals coming in, the new ones to the space. They're going through the same kind of struggles that we went through, and so kind of through some of the same mistakes. Now, hopefully, we're making it a little bit easier for them, right? And we're getting those videos out. We're educating them. Hopefully, they're joining these spaces and they're seeing our faces fully doxxed. They understand that we are legit, and we want to make sure that that message comes in loud and clear, right? We are here to stay. So,
Mm-hmm.
very powerful stuff. Saitama, Yon Worlds. I mean, Russell, man, thank you guys for coming out tonight. It was fun. It was fun, and you guys are always welcome back anytime. So, and by the way, one last thing, if you haven't and you made it this far, we are going on a centralized exchange. That's our first. So, plug to us. We didn't want to put that out there in the beginning or in the middle. We wanted to get there at the end. And if you hear this, check us out. Boom. So, guys, have a great night. Thanks again for joining us. We appreciate all you guys do. Keep up the great work. Thanks, everyone. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Later.